Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Times Up Fantasy Sports Talk. If you're looking for some great fantasy basketball free agents to add before the second half of the season starts, you're in the right place. I'm Waiver Wire Queen, and I am going to make sure that you add the best value players to help you win second half of the season and and win in the playoffs because that's what it's about. That's what we're doing. All right, so let's get started. So I have five players who I think are solid players to add. And let's face it, right now, at this stage in fantasy basketball, you're probably not going to find someone out there who's going to average 30, 35 points. They're not going to give you what AD was giving you. You're just not going to find it. But you can find players who can still help you win, depending on the type of league you're in. Well, let's jump right into it. Okay, my first free agent who I think you guys should prioritize is Dario from Phoenix. He is rostered in only 14% of Yahoo leagues. He's averaging 18 to 19 fantasy points over the last few games. He's giving you 13 points, 21 points, 13 points. That's decent points. He's scoring the ball, guys, and that's important because if you're scoring 21 points, then that's going to increase your fantasy points. And then on a season, he's averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds. He's been in and out of the lineup. This has been the most amount of games he has played for an extended period of time this season. So that tells me that he's getting healthy. So as he continues to get healthy, his minutes will probably increase. And then he has CP3 throwing him the ball, passing him the ball. So that's going to help. His field goal percentage at 48% is solid. And if you're in a categories-based league, you may want to look at him because he may help you win your field goal percentage if that's a category and you're struggling there. So prioritize him ASAP because he's available. Only being rostered in 14% of leagues tells me you're available. Nobody is really adding you. So don't wait until he continues to perform. If he goes the next 5 to 10 games with 10 points, 5, 6 rebounds, someone else is going to pick him up. But you're here, so you're going to pick him up before they pick him up. That's right. Okay, so let's jump right into the next player to add. Ivica Zubac. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right, but Zubac from the Clippers. He's a center. He's rostered in 37% of Yahoo leagues. He's averaging around 19 to 20 fantasy points. Season averages, he's averaging 19 minutes. He's giving 8 points and 7 rebounds a game, and he is shooting 65% from the field. So let's talk about the 65% from the field and what that represents. That means he's hitting most of his shots. He's probably getting a lot of shots in the paint. So he's hitting at a high percentage. So if you're in a categories-based league and you are struggling with field goal percentage and you are looking for a player who's going to help, especially a big, he's definitely a perfect option. I would love to see that 19 minutes increase to 23, maybe 24, 25 minutes. Then you'll see him at 9 to 10 points and maybe 8, 9 rebounds, which is excellent. But he's a great player to pick up, especially if you have someone like AD who is out, or if you have if you need someone to just spot start because one of your bigs is out for the evening. Why not put him in there and get his 19 to 20 fantasy points instead of just going without? When you're in a points-based scoring format, you need points. You don't want to go without because your opponent is definitely adding players and making sure that he's getting points from every position. And so that's what you need to do. And that's what you're going to do. So you're going to pick up Zubac and continue to get those points. All right, so another player to add with who I was shocked was even available in any of my leagues, and I've watched other managers pick him up, and I even picked him up in one league. I picked him up and dropped him in another because I was able to pick up a better option for my team, and that's Blake Griffin. So we know that he just signed with BK. I think some managers just probably got tired of waiting to see what the Pistons were going to do with him, and so they just dropped him. I've seen him available in several leagues. Well, right now that is obviously going to change. 3 days ago, he was rostered only 50% of Yahoo leagues, so that is still an opportunity for someone. If you figure he was only 50%, you still got a 50% chance, which is better than no chance. That has gone up because he signed with BK. When Blake was playing with the Pistons and getting the minutes, he was averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds. With BK, if he's getting the same minutes or if his minutes increase, which I think they will, I can see him, his points going up to, instead of 12 points per game, maybe 14 points a game, instead of 5 rebounds per game, 6 or 7, which is solid. And that's going to help you because he's going to get you about 22 to 24 fantasy points, which is solid to add at this stage in the game, knowing that it's hard to find solid, consistent free agents. So what are you going to do? You're going to pick up Blake if he's available. If he's available right now, you stop what you're doing and add him, because guess what? He's definitely going to help you win some games and perform well in the playoffs. All right, another player to add is Dennis Smith Jr. He's only rostered in 27% of Yahoo leagues. He's just starting to see minutes. The Pistons are in rebuild mode, so I'm under the impression, I'm going to assume that they're just trying to see what they have in him. He's been traded around so many times. So they're trying to see what they have. And right now, he's playing solid basketball. If you look at his averages, they're low because he really wasn't seeing a lot of playing time, if any. So his averages look low. But if you just look at the last 5 games, his minutes has increased, and he's scoring and he's assisting, and that's what you want from your point guard. And at this stage in the game, you're not going to find a lot of solid guards out there. But if you happen to be in a position to pick up Dennis Smith and just even sit him on your bench to continue to see what he does and put him in there, spot start if one of your players just not playing. You need points. If it's 15 points, that may be the difference between you winning this week or losing this week, and ultimately the difference between you making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So if you can add him, you add him right now. Don't wait until he continues to perform. And then now, well, he's scored X amount of points in 10 straight games and got X amount of assists in 10 straight games. So everyone is trying to put in the claim for him. Might as well do it now, because everyone is some people are just chilling and not really, people took off because it's All-Star break, but you don't take off. We don't take off around here. We continue to survey the wire and see what we can do to position ourselves to be ready for a second half of the season before it actually starts. So make that move and pick him up ASAP. And then finally, my 5th option is Trey Lyles. Okay, I know you're like Trey Lyles, he doesn't play. Waiver Wire Queen. Okay, hear me out. He's playing for the Spurs, so I know the Spurs, they don't generally play their players the way other teams do. They kind of monitor minutes and everything like that. He's only rostered in 5% of leagues, but he's been solid the last games. And they monitor minutes, especially for their older players. So he has the opportunity to get in there and get you some points if you need points. Like, let's face it, if players like Zubac, Dario, and Blake are not available and you're looking for a big who may be able to give you 15 fantasy points on a night to where all of your guys are out, or AD is out, no one's going to give you AD. No one on the wire is going to give you AD type points. So you have to move past that. But Trey Lyles may be a good option for you, especially if you're one of those managers who always leave 2 roster spots to just kind of flip free agents. You gotta be careful if you're in a league that only allows you certain amount of moves per week. Most of my leagues are at 4 moves, so I've never been maxed out. So you just gotta kind of be smart with it. And if your bigs are not playing and you need to add someone in there, he may be the perfect option for you. And you're gonna look like a genius. And that's what you're trying to do. Trying to look like a genius and win at the same time. So you gotta know when to move on a player. You don't want to wait till the last minute and then boom. Now you gotta wait in line because you don't have the top priority, and then you might as well just move on, because once a player is known, everybody is scrambling to put in a claim for the player. So what you do and what we do is we survey the wire looking for free agents before everyone starts picking them up. So players like Monk, if you've been listening, because we know you've picked up Monk and he's giving you at least 20 to 22 fantasy points, and you're happy with that, because that's hard to find. And who would have thought that would be what Monk has been doing? Who would have thought? So you just gotta add that player, move on a player before it's too late, and then you miss out on a player like that. So Lyles, I'm not saying he's going to be giving you 20, 25 points, but for a spot start, and if he's getting the minutes, and in the past, when he's been given opportunities with other teams, he's been solid for periods of time. So he's one of those periods of time players, or I need to play someone tonight and he's getting the minutes. I need these points. Then he would be a great spot start, maybe for one game. If you have the opportunity, if you have those 2 slots, the roster slots that you're just like flipping players constantly, and you really need to flip a player and all of the other players mentioned are not available, pick him up. Take a chance on him. Guarantee you're gonna be happy with that. Check out this great playlist for fantasy basketball if you are trying to continue to win and take it to the next level and be the last manager standing. This playlist is dope, has some great waiver wire ads in fantasy basketball. And we're just trying to take it to the next level. We're trying to win. We're trying to be the last manager standing. And that's what you're trying to do. You want to be the last manager standing? Check out this video. Check out this playlist. Definitely going to bring value to your game and help you win, because that's what we're trying to do. That is the ultimate goal. You got to take it one game at a time. Take it one game at a time. Worry about today's games. Worry about those games when you get there. Worry about that week. And also continue to build. And that's just what we're doing. That's how it's done. This playlist is going to help you improve and continue to build on your fantasy basketball season.